Hi there, welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel and we're here at MetroEast Community Media. And now we're going to talk with a couple of ladies who are representing one of the most respected, I guess, organizations in East County. It is Snowcap Community Charities. And with us is Judy Alley, who is the Executive Director, and Linda Kidby, who is the Snowcap Board Secretary. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Snowcap really, truly is one of the most respected organizations in this area. I came from Portland and hadn't heard of Snowcap, but I heard it immediately. Oh, Snowcap's doing this. Oh, Snowcap's doing that. You guys really make a huge impression. Yeah. Well, so tell me about that. Can you give me just a little brief history on Snowcap?
It was incorporated legally in 1967, but I am told that it was in action many, many years before that.
People just doing that on their own and just trying to help out their neighbors and.
Yes, and the churches organized together because in those days they were a lot smaller congregations and they had bigger impact by cooperating.
Sure.
And so they got together and did things for people who were injured on the job. And nowadays we have a lot more safety net things. And so that's how it started. Wow. They were doing for each other. And
which is great.
It is. I mean, and they keep right on. And I think it's a testament to East County and the people.
The community itself.
You grew up here. And
yeah.
Did you grow up here, Linda?
I graduated from Centennial and I first got involved actually with Snowcap right around 1967 when I was a little girl going to one of the Lynch schools, and they wanted us to collect food for a food drive, and it was at the old Savage Memorial Church where some of the Snowcap volunteers started out. And so,
did you understand then what that was about? Do you remember? I mean, obviously it's when you were a little kid, but do you remember what that was?
You know,
like?
My parents made an impression on us about people that don't have, and I didn't know that we were poor. You know, my family, we didn't talk about that. And so I didn't know that we had a hard time making ends meet, but it was kind of in our family that we give to other people. Right. And we share what we have and we help out in the community as best as we're able. It's kind of instilled.
That's one of the best things you can do is teach your kids to do that. That's one of my pet passions is that, you know, bring your kids up to see, you know, model that behavior of service to others and let them understand how important that is so we can keep it going.
Don't just tell them about it, but volunteer together. That's what I like to see during the holidays, families volunteering together, because you're not just telling your children, well, we share and that's our value system. Right. But
actually modeling it,
you're doing it.
Yes. Bringing in the kids and letting the kids participate and let the kids be involved.
Yeah.
Then they have a real sense of contributing. I think the whole community, you know, it really does take a whole community to nurture and help and provide for everyone, because we're all having a need of some sort. It really helps me to volunteer. I feel better when I volunteer.
You do, don't you? Yeah. That's the other part of volunteering is you always get more out of it than you ever put into it. I mean,
I was reading in the AARP newspaper that people who volunteer live longer. It's not just feeling better, they are healthier. It's good to get out and mix with others and work together as part of a team. And
I agree. So, that's absolutely true. I know I was volunteering on a youth football program this summer, and instead of the kids paying, they were asked to donate food to this food bank. And a couple of the kids said to me, they were like 10 years old, why are we bringing this canned food? What is this for? And I said, because there's a lot of kids in this community that don't have enough food. I said, you know, there's probably kids you go to school with who come to school without any breakfast. And he said, no, not around here. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, and truly.
But they're sheltered in their family circle, which they should be, of course.
Right.
But
and they don't need to solve those problems at age 10, but to understand that
a little window into the lives of others is a good thing.
And it makes a difference. So when somebody comes to volunteer at Snowcap, what kinds of things do you have for them to do?
You know, there's just no limit to it. But the real basic things are we need people to drive trucks, both to pick up and deliver things. We need people to interview clients, to personal shoppers, to help in the pantry. That's just the routine operation. We need garden mentors, master gardeners.
You have a great garden there now,
We do. We've got 42 families.
Would you call it a community garden? Or is it For the snow cap, the people that
It's
benefit
for
from
low-income people that live in that area.
Okay.
And so we call it our community garden, but it isn't really for like us. We go persimmon, or that, you know,
that
it's
makes
that.
sense. Yes, yes.
It's focused
It's for this area.
right.
Yeah, and I've seen some video of it. And it was a pretty impressive garden.
Well, I think it is, and it's expanded this year. And just this last weekend, we had another young man get his Eagle Scout badge by building another bed. It's going to be for a handicapped gardener. The garden is gravel, and it's hard on her wheelchair to get around. So we're paving around this one set-aside raised bed. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it's growing, and we're also growing a little to the east of our building, where we're really trying to reclaim an area that has been neglected. And
is that little park-like area?
Yes,
That's a lot of a little wilderness area.
Yeah,
there?
it has a lot of really nice big trees, and unfortunately, it's just there's no real programming there, and it's just kind of beaten down dirt. And
so it's not owned by Snowcap?
No, it's owned by the church, Rockwood United Methodist Church, but with their usual generosity, they're leasing it to us for $1 a year. So
can't beat that one.
No, you can't. Once somebody said, "Oh, I've got quite a deal. I've got an empty space that we could lease to you for a real bargain over on Halsey." And I said, "Is it more than $1?" Well, of course it's more than $1. I said, "Well, it's not a real deal for us then."
That's so funny. Yeah, that's great. You probably have a lot of good community partners.
Oh yes, Home Forward is actually organizing. There's a lot of trenches that have to be dug for the underground sprinklers, the lighting. We're putting the wires in now for the cameras that will be mounted later in the light
Try
poles.
to prevent any problems
Exactly.
that might happen. So does it not have any of that right now? It's just pretty much
none of that.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so how do you plan on using it then?
We want to make it a wholesome place for the community to recreate, picnics, and I'm hoping to talk to the library once it's done and they can see the possibilities. Now I don't think they'd want to do reading in the summer there. It's just really not that nice.
But it can become
But it's going to be beautiful because we're going to put in a lot of plant material. We have a big hill, grassy knoll for the children to roll on, but we're going to have to fence off. We're doing the grass by seed, and so it'll take a little while to get established. But
that'd be great, though.
So it's
maybe
exciting.
some community groups, maybe if a little scout group wanted to do a little nature thing to get this particular badge or something, maybe they could.
That would be a
something
good
like
place
that.
for that. Yes,
Yeah.
it would. Yeah, Volkswalkers. We're scheduling a Volkswalk there in April.
You have one of those geocache things. You know about those things?
Yes, that would
I've
be
never done
really.
that, but
I haven't either, but we could do that. Yeah.
Something in the little park there.
Hidden
that's
in the
their
boulders.
destination.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I think those are kind of fascinating. So you, besides the park, you've expanded or are expanding your building as well.
We have to expand our warehouse, and we're in the process and almost winding that down. We have, since the recession, we doubled the number of people that were coming.
Wow.
We used to think we were busy when 4,000 people were fed each month. We thought,
I'd
haven't
say
we
that's
done
busy.
a lot? But that's nothing, because now it's 8,000.
Wow.
And it is just a lot of wear and tear on the building, and in order to really receive all the free food that is available that can be donated to us, we didn't have the space. We had to refuse food.
Oh, and that's a shame.
It is terrible.
Hopefully it went to another organization who could really use
I'm
it.
sure.
But still,
yes, but I
that's
still
a
think
shame.
that our people here should have that,
yeah,
especially when we've got them lined up at the front door to turn away trucks at the back door.
Yeah, that's a
doesn't
shame. Yeah,
make
that's-
sense.
Linda, have you seen a lot of change in the Rockwood area and the East County area as far as the number of homeless and people who need assistance? Because you say you grew up in this area.
I used to ride my bike right around in that area. We lived on 183rd right between Gleason and Burnside.
Okay.
And so I'm really familiar
Yes.
with that area, and it's gone through a lot of changes. you know, our whole community, people that live in the community, the things that go on in the community are certainly different than what went on when I was a youngster out riding my bike.
Right.
My mother probably wouldn't have let me out of the backyard.
Probably not, yeah.
And unfortunately, you know, it is just the times that we're living in, and I think we need to be responsive to that. And I think that there are a lot of people in need in the community, and I so appreciate the volunteers, the organizations, the partners, the business partners. I think just everybody matters, you know,
You
from the
can't do it
client.
alone. You can't do it alone.
No,
can you?
no, no.
It takes lots of
It
people.
does. Yeah, the partnerships, and I think I've noticed that in the recession that there's so many more partnerships between different nonprofit organizations and businesses and nonprofits because they know, you know, we're stronger together.
Right,
Yeah,
we need
so,
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we kind of partner here, you know, because we're
Yes.
yeah.
No, you guys do a lot to spread the word about all
and
kinds of
we're really
things.
trying to, you know, help with the Rockwood thing because people are trying to reclaim Rockwood. You know, they
Yes.
want it to be back the way it was when you were growing up. You know, when
Yeah.
it was a great place to live, and there's a lot of good stuff going on there. But you know, you need to keep at it. And the immigrant population has grown so incredibly. And,
I
you
think
know,
that may be one of the saving graces.
Oh, I
for
think so, too.
Rockwood.
I think it'll
become very
yeah.
diverse, but
Yeah.
also very exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of liveliness and creativity and
and it's not just
potentials
one
and
group. It's all
Right.
sorts of people from all over the world. And it's pretty. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are the kinds of things that need to be celebrated. But yeah, sometimes it takes people a while to get on their feet. So what else do we need to know before we run out of time about Snowcap? What do you have coming up in the future here?
Well, if there are people that would like to plant this park-like area, we are going to have a work party on October 19th as a Saturday, and if they call Snowcap, they can just go to our website and it has a contact us.
Oh, good. So and
section.
you'd like to know who's going to be there so you can prepare
Yes,
for them?
because we value our volunteers' time, and we don't want people to come if they're like if we've
there's nothing
got
to
too
do.
many
Yeah,
people and there's
yeah.
nothing to do, then they'd feel disappointed.
It'd be a
and-
great problem to have, but if you had
Yeah.
too many that sign up, but do call first.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it'll be everybody will be
Really
happier.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, keep up the good work, both of you. I know that keeps you very, very busy, but like I said,
Keeps us
Snowcap
out of
is,
trouble.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I know what kind of trouble you get into, Judy. So, but yeah, Snowcap is doing great things in this community, and like I said, is very well respected, and I hope you're here for years and years to come. So, thank you very much.
Thanks.
And please don't go away. We have one more guest that we're going to be talking with tonight, and I know you're going to want to hear about it. So, stick with Community Hotline. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Community television is what participatory democracy is about.
Like my friend Laird Ross says, it's the last great American soapbox.
It gives me a voice.
I'm glad it's available.
It's incredibly important to protect a place where all users of locally based nonprofit media have a place to speak and share their stories.